Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where I've been noticing a potential issue over here. Now, this is currently problematic to be sure, but I think we can go ahead and get ourselves an additional front line over here, and we're going to need to do that with this army group here. So we're going to go ahead and toss in a front line here, like so, and hopefully it'll recalculate that. Now, one thing I do want to do is I want to change this offensive line ever so slightly. I want to grab it and include that, like so. Now, hopefully that'll recalculate this front line here. This is a big mess right now, but this should hopefully get cleaned up relatively soon. Now, it was pointed out to me that we've not gone in and done training for quite a while. Now, this is true. These would cost command power, which we don't currently have. However, the reason we don't currently have that is primarily because we are doing an air supply mission over here, and we could just get rid of that. Just like that. Fantastic. So we could make these guys take up 15% less logistics. And you know what? I don't necessarily hate that. We'll have 3 more available trait slots to assign to this guy. And all of these appear to cost command power as upkeep. And that's, I think, okay-ish. Or is this a currency? Can be allocated for continuous operations or spent on one-time operations, but we're gaining 0.9, but it caps at 100. Okay, so this is actually a currency when used in this way. Planning speed I don't really care that much about. I would not necessarily mind grabbing infantry division attack. And then we can grab, what, 1 additional? General max army group size. Ooh. That would be good. After assigning this, we'll still have 1 more available. We could go for, say, offensive doctrine. I like it. Excellent. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to upgrade everybody. For right now, we're just going to also work on this field marshal. And I honestly... Let's see. He cannot currently get organizer. That's fine. He can grab infantry expert, for sure. He'll have 2 available additional traits. I do want to grab offensive doctrine for him. And that means that we are now out of command power. So that's okay. We still are going to have additional traits that we're going to need to give to these lads. But overall, I'm reasonably content with that. And now I'm hoping that we see these guys start to move over here, because I'm a little bit upset that we're not defending this area, if I'm honest. That said, we're doing pretty well, right? We're pushing across Chickasaw, and the idea is that we get Vicksburg. That should fall relatively soon. I hope. I also hope that we're not abandoning this up here. This is kind of dividing into a set of different theaters. Like, these guys over here, they're doing completely fine for now, right? But they probably won't be once they hit the Great Lakes. We'll see how that ends up going. But this up here, that these guys are in charge of, this is a giant mess with these lakes. And I'm hoping... You know what? We should probably manually assign some of these. These guys are already assigned to this region. So let's assign this division over to here. And then we'll assign, say, 2 divisions up here to the north. Who should they be? This division is already assigned over here, correct? Yes. Okay. So, these guys are currently down in this region for some reason. What is their front line at over here? Oh, right. Right. So we're going to need, like, 1 here. 1 here. 3 here. 1 here. 1 here. Yep, something like that. Oh, this is going to be very awkward to set up. Okay. Very awkward indeed. I'm just trying to figure out how exactly I want to set this up. We can have one assigned to, like, these two locations, right? So, which army group do these guys belong to? This one. So we can have this army group. We can put in a front line here and a front line here. And we can have this army group. Half of them would be assigned to here. And the other half, actually, we'll just assign all of them like this. We'll select all, assign all of them to here, and then we'll select half, and half of them will go into here. Also, we'll go ahead and pop this guy in, and we'll make sure that he gets assigned correctly. I think it'll auto-assign him over to here. Yeah, it actually did. Perfect. Okay, so there's this area covered. This area is going to have to be at least 2 armies, and then I suppose we could have this be 1 army. It's a possibility, to be sure. This army is already on the way up here. So we can assign that to this front here, and then we could pop in... Wait, is this even a front line over here? Yes, it is. So then we could pop in, say, like, just 4 of these over to here. And then all of the others... So that's this one assigned, that's this one assigned, and then this one is assigned up here. All of the others would be assigned to this area, in theory. Okay. I'm hoping that that works, until we get through this area anyway. We're going to have to do more, there's no doubt about that, but these guys can come on in over to this group. And then it looks like we're going to need to put in a reserve army. So that's wonderful. Any other unassigned divisions can hop into this reserve army. And the reserve army, of course, is going to be told to area defense around here. Okay. So in theory, we're going to be doing a lot of movement. There's no doubt about that. But we're going to need to get rearrayed over here and just push up through this area, ideally. I do want to also edit this end of this offensive line. I want to have this be all the way like that. And we'll go ahead and begin doing all of those attacks. Technically, those are 3 different attacks, aren't they? That didn't edit anything. Okay. Let's go ahead and delete the offensive lines here, then. Because we're going to need to place their offensive line as being, like, that. That's the idea for this offensive line. So it just fills in something along the lines of this. Yeah, that'll do. And we'll tell it to execute. Fantastic. Hopefully we can clean up this lake mess up here that is wreaking havoc with our line tool. And it looks like we may be about to cut these guys off over here. Ojibwa has taken huge hits recently, and I'm very happy to see that. We could continue doing region-wide industrial integration, and that's definitely something I'm interested in doing. We'll keep tossing these additional units over into our reserve force and get them moved over closer to the front. Just in case we end up losing some troops here. These guys are not showing up as having any enemies. And I'm not entirely sure why. Well, these are the ones that we didn't assign, right? So we would want to have these guys. We'd want to go ahead and delete this front. Like that. And then we'd want to put in a new front line. Right there. And these 2 would get assigned to it. No, I don't want to disband that. I want to assign these guys to this front. Okay, that's not helpful. Not helpful at all. Oh, I know what's wrong. I know exactly what's wrong. I didn't do this as an army group order. Okay, so these three get assigned to this front. Like that. I think. I hope. I hope. Well, in the meantime, we're going to continue moving around, and let's check in on our infrastructure situation. Yeah, we could definitely work on additional infrastructure over in these regions. That's wonderful. And I do want to think about continuing to rank up this guy. Now, I don't actually want any of these traits, I don't think right now anyway, so we may start working on ranking up this guy a little bit. We could make him adaptable. He doesn't really have much available. He's not a field marshal, so a lot of these are not too available, so I guess we'll go ahead and take adaptable. That'll be fine. And we do have enough for one more. Let's take a look at what this guy has available. Not much great. Okay. We'll try somebody else. Fortress Buster. I mean, it does give us fort attack, but I don't think that's that useful right now. We'll grab Infantry Expert. And we are out of command power. Perfect. Okay, so I want to make sure... Wait. Our attack order disappeared. And our division assignments over here are gone too. This army is supposed to be assigned to this group. Okay. I think now we're good. But we did manage to accidentally delete our offensive line, so we'll recreate that. No big deal there. Excellent. And we'll just tell them to go ahead and run that. I can't help but notice no one appears to be assigned to this. Or something. This isn't executing, perhaps? Did I not actually have this selected? Okay. We'll go ahead and do an offensive line again. Right there. There we go. Now it's working. I think I may not have had the army group selected. I'm not entirely sure. Regardless... we have lost a little bit of territory over here. That's not surprising, realistically. Although this actually unified this line a little bit. It's awkward, to be sure. This whole region is awkward, though. So there is that. We are pushing into the Great Lakes now. That's wonderful. Did Vicksburg fall? Vicksburg did indeed fall. Chickasaw's capital is now considered what? Boston? Wait, is this... This is Chickasaw, America. What is... Ah, Vicksburg is not fallen, but it's basically falling as we speak. Now Vicksburg has fallen. Perfect. Ojibwa decrypted our cipher. Not that I care. We'll move more troops into our reserve force over there. Let's see how we're doing logistically. Okay, we're having a little bit of issues over here. Blackfoot has capitulated. That's nice. Overall, our logistics don't look too bad. Like, much better than I was expecting. I always want to try to hit escape to go back into default map mode, and I don't know why. I really, really don't. We do need to build additional infrastructure, though, and so we shall. These guys will hop on into our reserve area. Excellent. And we're just going to continue pushing them out of here. Yeah, we're working on pushing the Alaska out of here right now. But Blackfoot capitulating did make a difference for us. Like, they're just crumbling at this point. And that is wonderful. This infantry division can also hop into our reserve force. Oh, there's an armor division there too. Excellent. Oh, there's a lot of them. Wonderful. So the question, of course, becomes, do we truly need to be recruiting this many? And I think the answer, once again, comes back to no, we don't. We're going to drop those two and those two. Excellent. And we will, of course, allow our manpower to work its way back up. Alaska has capitulated. Wonderful. We're getting exceptionally close at this point to adding North America to our continent collection. Of course, we'll have to deal with these guys out here, which is certainly awkward. Chickasaw must be mighty close at this point to capitulation. Richmond is their new capital. Let's see how close they are. Oh, they're 82%. Yeah, we are getting very close to Chickasaw capitulating. I like it. Up here, it looks like we are doing okay. In terms of... Oh, we have forgotten about this front line over here. What is this army that is assigned over here? That's these guys. I'm going to select half of them. And I'm going to tell them, hey, you need to protect over here. Come on over, guys. I'm also going to give them their own offensive line of taking out this section of Newfoundland and tell them to go ahead and go on that. Excellent. Ojibwa must be getting close to capitulation as well. They're in their own alliance, of course. Yeah, they're 54% towards capitulation. Wonderful. Things are, of course, going extremely well. We are currently fielding much more manpower than the enemy are, and we've lost less than they have as well. Alaska has already capitulated, but there's not going to be too much left for them here. Then there's just going to be this section of Ojibwa. We've started... No, they're not ready yet. We've started to take Florida. That's excellent. We need to consider having an army preparing to invade Cuba down here. Well, actually, Cuba is Chickasaw. So we would get that if they capitulate, right? We wouldn't have to invade Cuba. We would probably have to invade Bermuda. Yeah, that's Aztec. Okay. Awkward. Very awkward indeed. We appear to be making some progress over in this region. However, this is abandoned right now. We are traveling over, and we're almost there, so it looks like... Yeah, this will be fine. Excellent. And we're starting to clean up some of this gore over here. So that is wonderful as well. I want to choose this army here, and I want to give them their own offensive line. Their offensive line is simply to push up like this. Go ahead and get attacking over here. I want to be taking this flank. This is a plains province. Okay, that's going to be awkward for us to take unless Oregon capitulates, which they will, I think. Well, they do have this in Alaska. They may or may not capitulate. Okay. Let's see how we're doing on infrastructure construction. We can do additional construction. This is expected, of course, with the speed at which we are taking over this region. Excellent. And we are pushing in at truly remarkable speed. I do want to check in on America here. Okay, we need to do a little more work on them. However, we can put in additional general traits. Like this guy. I guess we can grab him Fortress Buster. It's not the best, but not the worst either. This general can grab Infantry Expert for sure. And we now don't have enough command power to upgrade anyone else. However, we are pushing in over this direction, so that's great. I would also like to see us pushing in over here, but for now I'm reasonably content with what this is doing. And we are, of course, pushing in over here as well. We have taken this region of Oregon, and we're going to take this region of Pueblo. And when Oregon capitulates, we should get that. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm hoping that once we liberate America here, we'll be able to annex them. That said, they have been turning a fair amount of these regions that they got over to us, which is nice. I don't hate that. How are we doing? Hang on a moment. What's going on here? Looks like Free India is defending our coastline. Okay. Free India has troops all over out here. I mean, that's to be expected. Free India has done a lot of work over here. And I'm okay with that. That's work that we don't have to do, unless we want to conquer Free India. And I still haven't decided if we need to conquer members of our faction or not in order for this to end. Leave it in the comments what you think on that one, because I'm very interested. I might put up a poll on that too. We'll see. Wouldn't be a terrible idea for a poll. At any rate, we are making some significant gains in North America. This is going very, very well at this point. Chickasaw will capitulate very soon. And I'm very glad that Ming is staying out of this. I do not want to be fighting Ming yet. We will fight Ming later. But first, we'll deal with everybody we're at war with. And maybe start a few new wars. Grabbing a few of those island nations, after all. And probably completely neglecting to garrison them. What could possibly go wrong? Let's see. We would need to be at total mobilization to do women in the workforce. It wouldn't be the worst. There goes Chickasaw America capitulating. And that means that regular America is kind of back. Kind of. Very kind of. Now I wonder if we would maybe be best off to do an airdrop onto these islands. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. That would certainly be an interesting way to go about it. However, the capital of Ojibwa is falling right now. We've still got cavalry units. Awkward. Very awkward indeed. Cleveland has indeed fallen. Ojibwa must be getting awful close. Chickasaw is currently 93% towards capitulation, and Ojibwa is 85% towards capitulation. Honestly, this looks super over to me. We've got these regions pocketed. There's very little that they can do. Sure, they get in 24 supplies through here, maybe. But that's not enough. That is certainly not enough. Excellent. And yeah, we're looking at grabbing all of that. Then there's just all this over here. Now we're going to definitely need to think about changing how this is set up over here. Like, this army group is not going to be necessary for much longer. We've pretty much successfully captured this whole area. We do have an unassigned division that will pop into our reserve force. And we have a second one. And a third. And a fourth. And a fifth. Surely that's it. Yeah, that's it. Excellent. Okay. Free India is kind of acting as our garrison force, and I'm reasonably okay with that. We don't really need them on the front lines, although they are trying to help. But we'll see if they succeed or not. In the meantime, we're going to continue attacking these regions. We are grabbing this pocket away, and we should be grabbing this one as well. And yeah, we're pushing well into Alaska at this point. That is wonderful. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue ranking up our generals. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.